think Jackson's frozen.
Yep. Is that Harry Potter?
No, but it is John Williams.
I was watching some of that earlier today.
Indeed.
What was that from?
The Olympics.
The Olympics.
That is the Olympics.
Oh, duh. I turned it on yesterday, right when the people from Colorado Springs won gold. And I was
Hell
like,
yeah. That's awesome.
Shit. That's cool.
I've been watching a little bit of the Lugeon and a little bit of women's hockey.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of them. But,
One thing I refuse to watch is curling.
What? Curling's my
I
favorite
never
one.
watched that either.
I never want to see. I don't care if motherfuckers sweeping ice. It's
Yeah.
like, what are you doing with these rocks?
I'm gonna take a 3-piece with the boss sauce
Picture this.
and some macaroni and cheese.
You just ruined the fucking punchline.
Sorry.
Are you drinking paint today, Sam?
I'm drinking paint today.
That's the point.
That's the point, and that's what makes me so fucking mad about this goddamn movie. It's the point.
How do you hate this movie?
I don't think about him in this movie. He doesn't exist, that fuck. That fucking fuck.
I am still here for it.
Your co-host, Mr. Workman, will not be joining us this week, for I have destroyed him for all time.
That's terrible. Can we call it the Foreskin 20 episode?
I'm fucking done.
3 for 3. Now that's really cool.
Welcome, one and all, to the latest edition of 3 for 3. I am your host this week, Mr. Jackson Workman, and I am joined by my two lovely chums this week, Mr. Matthew Patterson and Mr. Samuel Holler. And, my friends, we are not just celebrating any episode today. We are celebrating our second annual Valentine's Day special. So this will be an episode of, as I said, love. And maybe, just maybe, a little hate. But we'll see. Love and hate. It's like fucking Do the Right Thing with the fucking, you know, Radio Raheem. You know, that's what we're going for today. Love and hate. Or if you really want to, you know, go OG with it, Robert Mitchum in The Night of the Hunter.
Yep.
And
Whichever one you prefer.
The through line.
How are you boys doing today on this, the day of our Valentine's special?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing all right. You know, I'm a little hungover from the night before, or I was for most of the day. But you know what? That's okay. I ended up sleeping through the halftime show, waking up to the end of the game, falling asleep again, and waking up to the Burbs playing the new Keke Palmer. And it's actually not bad, but I only watched it because I was too tired and did not want to get up. So I just laid there and watched it.
Very
Jackson,
valid.
I hope you're feeling the love today because we are the two balls supporting the long, blood-filled pumping shaft that you are.
And that shaft is getting stroked, and these balls are getting cupped.
As you all have come to expect from the 3 for 3 podcast. But yes, we have 3 quite interesting picks today, all definitely romances in their own right, all very different takes on romance, different genres, different feels, different moods, and we're going to dive into them today. I think all different decades too.
Yep, and they
So-
all have the same through line.
Yes. So, on our journey of love, I think, well, you know, I wasn't going to put this one first, but I think after last week and after all the build-up we've given it, let's just go ahead and get the big one out of the way, stop the people from waiting. Mr. Holler's pick, the long-awaited, long-belated return to Silent Hill.
I cannot believe you saw this movie, Jackson. This is...
Neither can fucking I, but we will get to it in a minute. Mr. Holler, takes it away.
All right. So, you're a brooding artist. You're not only a brooding artist, you're Gentleman James. I think Gentleman James is what he called himself. And not only that, you are on the road. You're cruising. You're having a wonderful time in life. Until the one thing that we learned on this podcast a year ago, almost, what's gonna kill you in life is Mary Jane. He started smoking that joint. Ash fell on his lap. Looks down for 2 seconds. Oh no. A goddamn 18 semi truck is fucking barreling down on his front. And he whips that shit and fucking veers out of control, spins, hits some luggage, and almost hits this girl. But that was the mistake he made. This hit and run it should have been a hit and run. But no. She hit and ran all over his heart. And he fell hard. And he was ready. And you know what, folks? I need my glasses because I need to see. I'm not as talented as Gentleman James is in all of his brooding and mysterious art fashion, because he is an artist, a tortured artist, as we come to find out, because this woman that he just so happens to almost kill and almost fully kind of cause himself to be in prison for, takes you to the edge of where she almost hit her. Which we will get to the bus scene. We're not talking about the bus scene yet. The bus scene is bullshit. But the bus scene is hilarious. She takes you to this little cliff. This little area. A fine little place. It's sunny at the time, though, because, well, what's about to happen doesn't happen often. But when it does, be prepared. Because this little town against the lake, is none other than the legendary, the all-time greatest fuck you, goddamn Silent Hill. And then you flash forward and you are a drunk and you are a slug and you are gross looking and you are everything your mama wished you wouldn't be. And you're getting calls from your therapist that is actually not your therapist, who is also using the initial M, which just so happens to be the first letter of the name of your girlfriend, when she calls you, to trigger you, but you're trying not to think about your girlfriend, because apparently she died. Womp womp. And you get a letter, though, because you don't believe that she died, begging you to come back. Not begging. Begging is a loose word. Just saying, come back and see me. And so you go to Silent Hill. You go through it. You're James. You're the tortured artist. You gotta fucking deal with your problems, your grief. You gotta go through those 7 stages of denial or grief, denial, and all that fucking bullshit. And when you get here, it is oh so sweet. Everything's fine. You're fucking with the homeless. You're having a good old goddamn fucking time. But then, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna encounter something you ain't ready for. You're gonna encounter something that is bananas. And you encounter something that's deep inside yourself. Something that's totally normal. Oh my god, you can't see me. This is the season of the mask. God damn it, I have to
You're
background.
Can't see you.
Flipping in and out.
God damn. We'll just blur my background. So you
Not
know
all probiotics are made the same. See?
it's a shit show. Much like this movie.
Still can't see you.
It's because he doesn't have a face.
Oh.
I think it's looking for his face.
Does it keep blurring me?
Yes.
Yeah. God damn it. What a fucking...
Looks good, though. Alexis did a
good
good
crap.
job.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for you, boy. James ain't gonna last. 2 minutes in my hellhole. I'm beating them spider cheeks like it ain't nobody's business. And we're going hard. In the return to... Oh, I got an idea. In the return to Silent Hill, returning from director Christoph Gans from the first film, um, you know, it's just how we be. It's just how we do. He's the same he's always been. It's not going to be the best, but it's going to take you on a wild ass fucking journey. And yeah, you wish you could see my nipples, but you can't because I decided to censor them. I hope y'all enjoyed this. This is one of the greatest movies to exist of the last entire year of films.
Hell yeah. A good intro.
I'm so fucking mad my background made me go away. I'm rocking it the whole rest of this.
There you go.
All right.
And there's a lot more to it, but we'll get into it. As Matt and I briefly alluded to in the last episode, we not only have the better sequel in our pocket, but it's not just the sequel to this, it's the sequel to that.
Right. Yes, it's the sequel to the sequel. We're a movie removed.
We don't know if the world is ready for it, but it's gonna get it anyway.
Yep. Much like this movie. I was about to say, I guess I will share my thoughts real quick before Jackson goes in on it. To see this movie properly and have a good time, you gotta be on like 4 beers and 40 milligrams of THC, like edibles. You have to have a beer in the theater with you. And you have to be sitting next to your friend who is also on the same exact wavelength, so you can just look at each other at points in the movie and then just try not to fucking die laughing. Yes, this movie is wild. To me, it felt like a video game movie. We'll talk about like a legitimate, like, I was like, this feels like I'm watching all the cutscenes from a video game just cut together. Which at some point I just kind of let it go, and I was just like, I'm just gonna enjoy this for the crazy shit that goes down. I really thought Pyramid Head was about to fuck the spider lady. Yeah. And like cover your like the fucking phone thing. Like just turn it off, dude. Turn the flashlight off. Don't cover it. I was trying to figure out if that was like a gameplay thing they were just working in there where you can't turn off your light and you have to like cover it. But I couldn't tell because I haven't played the games. And the CGI at some points, as Sam and I discussed, was fucking god awful. I kind of gave up on that too. Especially the one part where we'll mention it later, I'm sure, where it's a shot of him running from like a bird's eye view or like building top, and you can tell that that's not him running. It's just a CGI like run. I'm like, what? Why did they feel the need to do that? But okay. I was here for the crazy shit. I wish there was a little more Pyramid Head, and that whole twist was kind of like, well, this is the movie we're getting. But I had fun with it. That's the thing I will say. I was entertained, and I had fun with it, and I wasn't bored or like, Jesus, like what's going on? What's going on at some points, yes, but like, I was at least into it. Is it the best movie ever? Fuck no. Is it the best movie this year? Definitely not. But you know what? It's not as bad as people say in the sense that like they were saying. I mean, it is bad, but like I feel like you can at least enjoy it and have a good time if you're on 4 beers and 40 milligrams of THC.
I was about to say that's the asterisk on this is it's bad if you're sober. If you're not,
well, as Jackson will now relay how bad it is sober.
So here's the thing, everybody. I am gonna be dead honest about. No, it hasn't been a year, but it feels like it's been pretty close to a year since we did the Childhood Classics special, and Sam picked the original Silent Hill. And at that time, he informed us that there was another one coming out called Return to Silent Hill, and that when it came out in theaters, he was going to pick it for the podcast. It was not until the week that we were supposed to see this originally that I genuinely realized he was actually going to pick this for the podcast.
I'm surprised that you didn't think he was gonna do it in the first place.
Up until that week, I just kept telling myself, at some point, he is going to change his mind. He is going to realize that this is a terrible idea for many different reasons. He's going to realize, well, maybe I just shouldn't make them go and fucking pay money to see something that I know is going to be a god-awful piece of dog shit. I thought, like, there are any number of things he can realize.
Jackson, the moment I saw the Rotten Tomato score, I was energized out the ass to fucking get us to go see this goddamn movie.
Yeah, and so it really wasn't until that week where I was like, holy shit, he's actually sticking to this. He's actually going to make us watch this movie. And then, you know, as I think I mentioned last week, I can't remember if that's even in the episode or not, I wasn't able to get to it in time because weather and me being sick and just all that shit. But then finally, I think it was the day after we recorded the last one. It was either the day after or the day after that. I can't remember. I finally went to the theater to see this movie. And I was dreading it the whole way there, but I knew it had to be done. I literally said to the person at the box office who gave me my fucking ticket, I said, if you want to do a good deed today, you'll talk me out of seeing this fucking movie. But alas, she did not. And I got there pretty late, and I got into the theater literally 10 seconds before the fucking movie started. And then it started.
My eyes. You couldn't even lock in and prepare yourself. You were in for the ride.
My eyes beheld what was one of the goddamn worst fucking things I have seen in a goddamn minute. One of the worst things ever picked for this fucking podcast. It became clear to me immediately why Sam chose the week that he flew halfway across the fucking country movie, so that it would be harder for me to fucking track him down and fucking kill him.
This
But
is the
guess
hate
what,
part of the
Sam?
episode.
Guess fucking what?
Be funny. He just comes in behind you.
Literally.
I'm gonna smother you with a goddamn pillow, you fucking bastard, and then we're really gonna fucking return to Silent Hill.
I might like it, so that's the issue.
That is the issue. Fuck you for choosing this movie. This is a goddamn catastrophe. This movie is a goddamn mess. This movie is a goddamn incoherent fucking abomination of film. And, you know, honestly, I respect the first one a lot more now, having seen this. Because if you recall, I did not like the first movie, but I was able to at least say a few positive things about it. And can't say the same for this one. Absolutely no fucking redeeming value other than maybe a few of the scenes at the beginning were well shot. That's about all I can say. Every single other thing is
That's wild. I think the beginning is the worst.
I mean, I remember, like, in the beginning, I even was like, is this gonna get, like, are we gonna get somewhere here?
The first movie is fucking goddamn a masterpiece compared to this one.
Well, when she waves the bus away,
plot
like,
in that movie, it's stupid and it's bad, but it's
bus
like,
driver
oh my
honks
god,
at
this actually at least feels like a movie. This feels
because
like
she, like, the bus is pulling in to pick her up, and homeboy, like, she's already stopping it. Like, he's not gonna see her with all her fucking suitcases and not wait for her.
He honked at her. She's on a time limit, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, you could go.
Nobody wants to stay by Silent Hill. Everyone knows about Silent Hill.
I don't know if this was, I don't know if I did this bit last week, but I got to do it now though. This is my impression of the bus driver, like watching her pulling up, because we don't see his face. I'm just driving away.
I didn't get that bit last week, and I don't get it now.
The bus driver is just like.
There were so many bits.
The bus driver can spy crazy from a mile away, Jackson, and never trust.
He's literally like, just, I don't know. I mean, they don't show his face.
There were so many bits and jokes you guys made last week where I thought, oh, that'll make sense when I see the movie. And then I saw the movie and I'm like, I still don't understand what the fuck they were talking about. It lets me know you guys were incredibly fucked up watching the movie because I'm like, Did this actually happen, or is that just how they fucking remembered it? Because
We
there were
had
so
that
many
moment a
things.
minute ago. We were like, did we just hallucinate some of that scene?
I was like, what the fuck were they talking
Well,
about?
one of the
Like,
autism one where him and Pyramid Head are like freaking out together over the
And
freaking
the
thing. And it's
sirens
like when you
going off.
realize you and the
Like,
homie have the same autism.
they're in the closet
Yeah.
together because James is in the closet.
that's they were freaking out. That is true. But yeah, man, I don't got much more to say other than like literally, if I were to sit here and go through every single fucking thing in this movie that was ass, we would be here for like.
Well,
days,
if you're gonna
probably.
talk about ass, you got to bring up the Spider Woman's ass.
It was very prominent. It was there.
It's like
And
I don't want to die, but like I kind of want to fuck some of these monsters.
you want them to
Head
gush
beat
all
that
that
shit.
fucking acid on you? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, if she's a squirter, you know, I'm all for it.
Oh man, but yeah,
Jackson,
gotta
really
fuck
never
the
in my
chest hole.
life thought that I would ever see this movie in a theater. Never thought that I would pay fucking money to see it. Never thought that. But I can say for the rest of my life, I can say I saw Return to Silent Hill in the theater when it came out.
it changed your life.
When they released the extended 1 hour extra footage they cut out of the movie, I'm gonna choose that one. The extended cut.
That is the day I just shoot myself on camera.
Well, that's why I gotta pick the extended director's cut of Napoleon with it, and we do an extended special. And then we
Oh,
just
that would be
purely
interesting.
brain rot you, Jackson, to the point that you are numb and you want to kill yourself, just like James.
I low key feel like that's what this podcast has become, is just you two attempting to kill me with some of your fucking picks. But
Well, hey,
You're
at
being
this point, do you
exposed.
think Spoils of Babylon is good?
still worse
Comparatively?
than this. Still
Huh?
worse than this.
Okay.
Worse.
So.
Okay.
This is definitely in the top 5 worst that we've ever had on the show. But
Wow.
So where would you say Sam's run went?
yeah, it's destroyed, Sam. I'm sorry, you ruined it. It's over.
it's in my heart.
As I figured would be the case.
It's
But
not ruined to me. So
you did make it at least halfway through the season. So
yes, which
that's
is
about it. I think you made it about as far as Matt
it's
did
growth.
last time.
It's growth.
Yep.
No,
So-
you didn't like
and this
the
was
flesh
also
room.
kind of a kamikaze situation, unlike Matt's. He genuinely thought we might like Comet. This was a kamikaze situation where you just dove
Hey.
the fucking plane, you know.
We
just-
actually were talking and we thought there was a 50% chance you would kind of like it.
Are you fucking serious?
We were
That's
really
how I
fucked
know
up.
you were fucked up watching.
Yeah.
You actually think
the flesh
I was gonna
room
like
with
this
the
movie.
tubes coming in and out of the wall and the table of 2 people upside down. You didn't like
shit was
that?
nuts.
You didn't like the
Yeah,
hand
see, like
going
that,
down
you know, there is some crazy shit that I like. Was like, okay, that's interesting.
There were some visuals in this that, I mean, I can't even give them props for being creative because they came from the fucking game, but, you know, so I'm
The
like,
Beatles, though, the Beatles look cool as fuck to me. When they're all up against the glass and you see it's a practical effect of them just all squirming and whatnot. Even though not much
Yeah.
of this movie's practical.
The guy who played the dude he meets in the building, the big dude, is one of the worst actors I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
So
I'm gonna
sickly.
put that out there. So is the main dude. And so is everybody. Like most of the
Hey,
performances in the movie are.
I
fucking
give I
Give
do
a little
have to look
girl?
up the actress's name.
Give
No,
a
the
little
main,
girl some credit.
the main girl, as stupid as it is, and this is going to be something that could be controversial, but since it's been a long time since I've seen someone play the game. I never actually played it. How can you not know that every one of those girls is the same character in person? So is that the movie's fault or is that the game's fault?
I thought it was the movie trying to be like coy and be like, oh, you don't know until, you know, it's part of the
Oh,
twist.
Maybe.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't notice that the same actress played all 3
Really?
characters. I didn't know
Well, then there you go. That's the props I'm giving. She played 3 different roles, completely different.
Each one more underdeveloped and unnecessary than the last.
When she said her name, me and Sam just looked dead at dead
started
at each other's
laughing.
eyes and just were like literally trying not to just.
We also started laughing when she was in the elevator with the flashlight, and the nurse just comes up and stabs her. It's like she's right in front of you.
She could have shot, yeah, like nothing, you know. That whole scene was like bullshit. Again, it felt like a video game. Like in the video game, the elevator's gonna stall, so give you time to fight off some of the, you know, bad guys before you get back in. And it starts back up again. Just like that seemed like a video game type shit to me. That's where I was like,
Well,
I'll give it like,
it's
lenient
funny,
fee because
Matt,
it is.
because I actually thought it was wild. Because for the first like maybe 15 minutes of the movie, I remembered you had said that that it looked like cutscenes from the video game. And for the first 15 minutes, I was like, holy shit, he was not kidding. Like, it was legitimately like someone. I almost, in a strange way, kind of give him props for figuring out how to do that.
The first person
Where
POV in the bar where he's getting thrown out.
Well, even like the scenes where it's like, you know, him walking around and shit, I'm like, okay, I've never seen anyone do that well before. Like, manage to recreate the look of a video game in live action down to the camera angles and just like the way the shots were framed and everything. It annoyed the shit out of me because I'm just like, okay, this is a movie and you need to make it different and you're literally just making this look like a game. But I was also like, okay, on a technical level, like, you know, I feel like I should, you know, commend him somewhat for being able to do that so well. And like I said, a lot of the shots in the beginning did look really good. Later on, it got fucking stupid because all he had to shoot was a bunch of dark, impossible to see CGI nonsense that was so poorly edited you couldn't see what the fuck was going on half the time. But, you know, yeah. So there's that, and there's just the fact that, again, this almost, you know, it's like saying, oh, the writing in Citizen Kane was really good, you know? It's like saying the writing in this was really bad. It's like, no shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the writing in this was really bad. The direction, the editing, the fucking CGI was absolutely goddamn atrocious. Literally every aspect of this thing, I was like, but you know what? I was prepared. That's the only reason this isn't higher on my list of worst movies of the show, and it's already in the top 5. But the only reason it's not worse is because I was prepared going in. I knew fully well what I was getting myself into, so I was just like, okay. Like, really the only time I was like dying was towards the end when I'm just like, can you
the
just
bed levitating and he's smothering her and screaming.
I'm just like, can we just please end this? Like, can we please, like, I'm the last like fucking 30 to 40 minutes of the movie, I was like, God damn it, why is this movie still on? Please fucking end. I kept checking my goddamn phone just to see what time it was for the last like hour of the movie. And, you know,
Well,
yeah.
my opinion, the true nightmare of this movie is finding out that your girlfriend is one of the ex-Epstein girls and having to deal with that. Sorry, I had to make it. It was like no hanging fruit. Huh?
Something to think about.
Yeah, that's gonna be the plight in the next 5 years for guys.
I have no regrets. I have no regrets whatsoever. And I have no apologies to give because I had an absolute fucking blast with this movie. And
well, I'm very happy.
I completely agree with you. This movie is atrocious in many levels. But this movie is tailor-made for me, much like the first one. And it's a true piece to the puzzle in my soul that we have returned to Silent Hill, as you will.
Yes, we at least we followed through on our promises. That's what we do on this show.
Yes, indeed. No thread left hanging. Not on this show. But yeah,
We have a minute and 17
of all the
seconds
directors we've had on numerous times, Christoph Gans is on there, much to my, you know, horror.
We haven't even had Mel Brooks yet.
Say what?
We haven't even had Mel Brooks yet.
Not once, but we've had Christoph Gans twice. So,
exactly.
fucking cheers to that. True
Amen.
visionary.
Cheers.
Deserves to be here with people like Andrei Tarkovsky and Ridley Scott and, you know...
Oh, I just
all
found my
the
copy of
greats.
Stalker the other day, and I was so happy. I, like, jumped up in the air. I was like, yes, finally found you after a year of searching.
I need to have a copy of that.
Shout out to composer Akira Yamaka, because I love the music in this, and I loved getting to read about the process where he literally took the game, threw all the music from the game into the movie, and then slowly started retooling each theme and taking stuff out and writing new music and splicing the two kind of elements together. Um, it just is how I imagine I would do it if I were at that level.
Well, do we have any final thoughts on Return to Silent Hill?
Nope.
I got a couple things because we did not really talk about the cult aspect and like the Suspiria-esque kind of Rosemary Baby kind of thing that it was going, and him watching her get torn to pieces in the flesh, and much like the first movie, and I really should have done it in the theater, but it was a packed theater. It gave me another name to scream because the first one had Sharon and this one has Laura. Sorry, I don't want to scream. It's almost 2 a.m. in my neighbors. And I need to shout out how fucking badass I thought the 360 shot when it first turned. It made me think of Beau is Afraid when that, and then the other thing we were talking about a few weeks ago. That 360 shot really locked me in even more so than the first person bar toss out thing. And as dumb as the fucking lights, him not turning off the light in the closet is, because James is always going to be in the closet, is how fucking cool I thought the shots were of the eyes. Like his eye peeking through, and then when Laura was peeking through the keyhole with the dead little baby, more fucked up baby thing through it, and then she looked in. Those are some of my favorite shots in the movie. Shoulda, woulda, coulda been Jacob's Ladder, but I know that's also what the game's based off of originally, so.
Yeah. I mean, I like the therapist shots, the shots of the therapist with, like, the like, kaleidoscope.
She was one of the cult members, so therapist.
That's why I think they kept her face hidden for, like, a lot of it.
It was fucking insane to me, the parts in the flashbacks where they were trying to keep her face hidden. I'm like, the second she...
the second I saw her, I was like, oh.
Appeared on screen, I was like, that's the therapist. I was like, are they trying to keep this a secret? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I will say, too, it only took 17 minutes for this shot to happen, so it's a tight beginning. They got straight to the fucking point.
I remember it did feel a little long, though, when we watched it the first time, but I was also, again, high, so...
Felt long as fuck to me. It felt like it would never goddamn end. But...
And Jackson, your hatred for this movie will not be forgotten in your dreams, motherfucker, because I am coming for you and you will not make it out alive.
Oh no, my friend. I'm coming for you.
This is the season of the masked Sam. Nobody can unmask me.
It's like The Masked Singer, but with Sam.
I've never had my inner Liam Neeson awoken more than by this movie. Just the desire to hunt you down and kill you for the way you have wronged me.
It's like Jackson, you leave the theater and then you just start running and you don't stop running until you find Sam and kill him.
Literally.
And it's like Forrest Gump and then Taken.
I just started running.
Gotta use a blade as big as Pyramid Head, so that way they can't even recognize my body.
There you go.
And were you at least satisfied when he told her she was a part of his mind and had Pyramid Head just fucking stab her through the belly and lift her up in the air with blood spraying everywhere?
I remember I thought that was kind of badass.
I cannot emphasize to you enough what little joy or satisfaction I got from this goddamn movie. It is
the most joys Jackson got was the credits rolling.
Pretty much. I did flip off the screen as soon as the credits came up, just so you know. As soon as Christoph Gans's name came up, I flipped it off.
I love you, Jackson. You don't just put up with me. You severely deal with me and have the emotional trauma and grief that James Sunderland.
No,
had.
this is how I become James at the beginning of the movie. It's a cycle.
It's your turning point.
Yes. But now that we have regrettably returned to Silent Hill after all this time, We got, in this episode of Love, we got the hate out first.
Yeah, we got the hate,
We got
and
the
now
love
we can go
and
to the
hate.
love.
Oh, hate rose up, but then love struck his brother down, and all that good shit.
See, this is where our Nancy Drew third movie is gonna redeem it, right, Jackson? Because you want to see Nancy Drew in the Silent Hill
deny
universe.
that it can't
be
Everyone
worse
wants
than
to
this.
see Nancy Drew in the Silent Hill universe.
It can't
Not
be
only the
worse
Silent
than
Hill
this.
universe, the Silent Hill metaverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course,
See,
we must not forget.
because she has to find herself and unlock herself from the VR, and then get herself out of Silent Hill.
But now, my friends,
Prints itself.
we are going. We're jumping around in time just a little bit. The next one we must do. We got to take ourselves all the way back. You see, we got off to a rocky start because we started off with hate. But in order to make sure that this episode, from this point on, is an episode of love, that's what we got to do. And in order to do that, that's why everything, every single little thing, every single tiny little microscopic thing must go according to plan. With our next pick, Mr. Patterson's pick, Corpse Bride. Take it away, my good friend.
All right, yes. This week, indeed, I picked...
Fetch me musket.
Oh, shit. I'm an idiot.
Where's your copy, bitch?
I know, I was like... My bad. I was forgetting something.
Jackson, I want you to know I found a way to download the entire zip file that is Return to Silent Hill onto my computer last night and rewatched it just to prepare for this. And
That's so fucking funny.
That's amazing.
It held up on rewatch.
Your dedication is
Can you send me that zip
inspiring.
file?
It's like 16 gigabytes. It's
Damn.
long. But then I compressed it and it was 5. And then you have to you
Just
can't,
put it on the Google Drive.
you can't use QuickTime, so I had to use a browser called Opera to watch it.
Damn. What about VLC? Does that work?
I think so. Yeah, VLC works with it if you have one of those.
Oh yeah. But yes, sorry. Get back to my pick, The Corpse Bride. Tim Burton's, I think 2005. Stop motion animation. Which starring the usual suspects: Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to say we're not even gonna like 3 people or 4 people from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Because we got Deep
We're
Roy
also
in this bitch as
Sleepy
well.
Hollow. So
Michael Goff as well.
Yep. So got a lot of his usual cast coming back. And the movie is, I think, based on some actual, I think, Jewish folklore, if I'm not mistaken, or if Wiki isn't lying to me. But basically, it's about this dude, Victor, played by Johnny Depp. Homeboy's trying to marry Victoria, played by Emily Watson. Not necessarily because he wants to exactly, but because their marriages will help their families unite and create a bigger dynasty and whatnot, because they're not that well off to deal with. But this man's one thing, clumsy as hell, because can't even get married right, fucks everything up, and then just goes to the woods to figure his shit out, and he's practicing with a tree. Bro is not trying to fucking marry a tree, but he ends up kind of marrying a tree inadvertently. Puts the the ring on like this goddamn branch. Turns out to be a dead woman named Emily. I can't remember her name. Yeah, Emily. Played by Helena Bonham Carter. And now they're married. And then she brings him to the land of the dead. The movie goes from like black and white and depressing as hell to like really jubilant and fun. Land of the Dead ain't so bad after all. It makes you wonder who's really dead. Yeah, and the movie just kind of takes off from there. I'm trying to remember the exact plot because it was like a couple days ago, but I've seen this a lot as a kid, and I was like remembering it. It was really crazy. I'm glad I got it. But yeah, basically there's a lot of him not sure if he really wants to be with this dead girl. He like wants to be with Victoria. There's a whole bunch of ruse going on with especially the people above Richard E. Grant and shit being fucking diabolical. And yeah, everyone gets their just desserts in the end. It's a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I'm glancing over it a little bit because I'm having a little bit of trouble remembering. But nonetheless, Danny Elfman, who does the music, he shows up as a character too. He fucking kills it. And the music is just great. It's very catchy. I know a lot of people think about Nightmare on Elm Street, even though technically that's Henry Selick or Selick or how the fuck you say his last name. Huh? Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah. But honestly, this one was directed by Tim Burton, and it's pretty fucking good. I don't know if people talk about this one a lot, but I feel like it kind of goes unnoticed and sometimes when people talk about his work, and I'm like, no, it's still solid, it's still a banger. But yeah, I'll let you guys talk or open up to the floor.
I first off want to say fuck you, Danny Elfman. You got to do so much goddamn bullshit that sounds so fucking cool and awesome in this movie, and it pisses me off because you are so talented and I love you so much. And your music, fuck you.
Shout out the new A$AP Rocky album.
Yes.
Don't be dumb.
And also, too, fuck you, Nightmare Before Christmas, because this movie is better, in my opinion. And this movie, fully... this one distinctly, as a kid, I remember, like, frankly, between the three, I would say, like, big ones. And I know Coraline was not directed by him, but was animated by people that did this. Between the three, I think this one took the cake for all three for me as a kid. And how whimsical was the way the bones sound and like clack together and all that kind of stuff. It's so fun. It's so quick too. I kind of wish it was a little longer, but it doesn't need to be. And it just is, frankly, like a goofball movie the whole way through, and then it just gets unnecessarily sad with her story and her dreams being taken from her and realizing that she can't take his and all that kind of nonsense. So yeah, I mean, that's a fucking chin you could eat off of, I'll tell you that much. So, and thus Victoria's Secret was born.
Yeah, so this of the three was the only rewatch for me. I hadn't seen this since around COVID times. That was when I finally saw it for the first time. And it's funny because I remember very clearly when this came out, all the way back in 2005. And it fucks me up beyond belief that this is an over 20-year-old movie now. That's fucking insane. But I remember wanting to go see it in the theater, and my mom would not let me. And I remember at the time, I was like, what? Why?
She saw Sleepy Hollow, was like...
But then in 2020, in the middle of the pandemic, I watched this movie. And it finally became clear why to me. Because this movie is fucked on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. It's funny because I was like, if I saw this as a kid, I would have been terrified of marriage for the rest of my life. I know that for a fact.
Right here.
Yep. Well, the ironic thing is I ended up becoming terrified of it anyway, but for different reasons, not because of this movie.
Oh, it happens eventually. It just depends on when.
It would have happened at a much younger age.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, it happens after you're married.
Yeah. That's what you don't want. Right?
That's what we get in the next pick. Don't you worry.
Oh, yeah, very true. But, and this, watching it this time, it was pretty much exactly how I remembered it. It's a perfectly nice, fun little movie. There's not really like a whole lot to it, but for what it is, it's a nice, fun little movie. I enjoy it. I like the songs. The animation is gorgeous. A lot of the, voice performances are really good. The story is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly basic. They clearly just had like the bullet points of the story that they knew they wanted, and they didn't do much beyond that. They just padded it out with filler scenes and with puns. 90% of this movie is puns. And,
I liked the comedy. I kept forgetting how funny it was. I was like, this movie, I kept forgetting how, funny the movie was, and I was like, oh yeah, it is. It's not because I remember it being kind of serious as a kid, but I was a kid, so I didn't know any better.
Yeah. And yeah, it you know, definitely it's interesting because yeah, this is technically the first animated movie Tim Burton directed, and also Mike Johnson co-directed it with him. We can't.
Well, I guess so, because Frankenweenie was a short, so.
Right. Well, then he
Well,
did the feature version.
he did a feature of Frankenweenie
later on, but yeah, and then yeah, again, I enjoyed like the song where they reveal her backstory was a lot of fun. A lot of the voice performances are fun. I can't tell you enough. I can't express my love for Albert Finney enough. That man was a treasure, and he's honestly one of my favorite parts of this movie. His character just cracks me up. Fetch me musket. I strangled that boy with my bare hands.
I love
His
how the
voice is
musket
so
has that like,
goddamn
round.
mighty. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The musket having the really big round like bell end killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was just gonna say it's like I don't know. It's weird because like the movie to me was like I had it recorded on like TiVo back when we had TiVo, and so that would be like what I would turn it on like before school in the mornings, like for a hot minute. And that's probably why I don't think about the ending as much because I probably got about 30 minutes into the movie before I had to turn it off every morning. I never like just continued it. I would just start it over again. But I remember it really hitting hard for me as a kid though, like the whole her being dead and shit. And this the thing I liked about it this time was like the accidental part of it. Like I didn't really pick up on the deeper stuff. So watching it now, I'm like, oh, I'm picking up on like the actual plot of the movie, not just following Johnny Depp's character through Land of the Dead type shit, you know. Which I think those scenes are so much fun, especially that turn, you know, from like the very bland cinematography to like the super colorful thing. It's like, oh shit. So
the worm in her head too just is one of my favorite all-time characters.
So. Yeah, the Peter Lorre worm.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. And I also relate to Mayhew, the stagecoach driver. That was basically what I was going through when I was sick. I was like, oh man, I feel you on that one, Mayhew. But yeah, so those coughs can be a bitch. But yeah, and it's cool to see all of his regulars, like, you know, Johnny Depp, and who's doing. It's funny because he's doing like his typical kind of weird Tim Burton shtick, but it's a lot more reined in this one, which I like. Like he's not just because I remember that was a problem I had in Sleepy Hollow, is he was just way too goddamn over the top with it, and I think here he was able to rein it in pretty well, and like he's not just being goofy for the sake of it. He's like really giving a good performance as that character. Helena Bonham Carter's great. You know, Richard E. Grant is just like you can just feel through his voice in the movie. He's just having a blast with it. Just being all like sinister and diabolical and everything. And Christopher Lee was fucking great. And yeah, you know, everybody and again, the highlight of the movie to me is just the animation is just absolutely just gorgeous, and just, you know, the colors and just the way the sets look and everything. It's just, I don't know. That's something that Tim Burton has always been really good at, whether it's in live action or animation, is, you know, his set design and his art design, and just the look of his movies has always been very, you know, striking and very, very gorgeous. And, you know, yeah, I
think that's where him and Danny work so well together, because all of Danny Elfman's music, he kind of, I was thinking about it, he latches a certain sound to characters that makes, once you hear that music, completely identifiable to that character, much like the piano love theme that they play together and whatnot. And that's Tim Burton's specialty, is creating unique characters that he can latch onto. And I find that's, I think, why their relationship really kind of gels in a very hard way.
Yeah, and I think it's cool because it's like, I don't know how you guys feel, but like it's weird because when I want him and Victoria to be together, like I really do want that to happen, and that's who I'm rooting for. But at the same time, I feel bad for the corpse bride. At the same time, I'm just like, oh man, like I wish that you could, but he's got to be with her, and so that's just how that is. But you know, and that song she has too, you know, singing to the spider and the worm, that was also good. Like a good like kind of insight into how she felt and everything. So
The comedic timing of her saying that she was a widow, and then he just smacks her out of his way and runs, and turns and is like, "He's over here." It's like, yeah, fuck him.
Yep.
yeah,
Never.
I mean, that's why. Yeah. Honestly, like,
Beware of a
I,
woman scorned.
I'm kind of surprised I haven't bought this movie earlier because it's like such a good. Like, I don't know. I do kind of agree with Sam. It's not that I don't. I probably need to rewatch Nightmare Before Christmas, but that was never as like important to me as a kid as Corpse Bride was. Like, Corpse Bride was the one I knew very well. I'd seen a lot. I think I've only seen Nightmare Before Christmas like 3 times in my life. And granted, they were all at pivotal moments, like, so I can remember it. But I don't know. It never was like, oh, I'm gonna get the Jack Skellington like stuff and do all that. I just, you know, not that I didn't like it. I was just like not as infatuated with it as this, I guess. But I still am glad it exists, and you know, I feel like especially as somebody who likes Tim Burton and like Coraline and all that shit. Even I know that's not him, but he produced it and all that shit. But like, and I haven't seen this. It's like, well, you got a good one waiting for you. You know,
Completely.
you got some more to watch.
It makes me think of the Jordan Peele produced. I think it's called Wendell and Wild.
I cannot tell you how much I hate myself for not having seen that yet. Like that was one of those things. Like I cannot, because that was Henry Selick's first movie since Coraline, and I was so goddamn excited to watch it when it came out. And the fact that I haven't yet just kills me. I've got to fucking see that. Like
It's really
soon.
fun.
But yeah, to your point, Matt, it's very funny, particularly towards the end. I just remember like the first time watching it, a lot of the parts at the end made me laugh. Like when when Albert Finney's character is like, if my grandfather could see this, he'd be turning in his grave, and then he shows up. Where do you keep the drinks or whatever? And they just like freak out and run away. I was like, that was fucking hilarious. And then when the dead people are roaming through the streets, and the skeleton just walks up to the old lady, and she's like, "Get back!" And he's like, "Darling, it's me." And she's like, "John, but you've been dead for 13 years." Like, I don't know, all those gags were like making me laugh and shit. And then just the pastor just being like, back, you demons. And they're like, "Excuse me, sir, we're here for a wedding." I don't know, like, all that shit was just killing me. But, yeah, the, like, weird dark humor was, again, it's very Tim Burton. And it was a lot of fun. And, you know, it's funny because, like, it is kind of like, even though this is, like, not even in the same solar system as The Nightmare Before Christmas to me, it's still an interesting kind of, like, companion movie where it's just, like, you know, okay, they're both, like, similar looking stop motion kind of movies. So it's, like, you know, the one that Henry Selick did and the one that Tim Burton did, and they're a fun little like double feature kind of deal that you could do. And yeah, it's again, like, despite whatever I think about like it not, you know, being all that fleshed out or anything more than just like kind of, you know,
I definitely think it needs an extra 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think it could have been longer. I know stop motion movies are really hard to do, and that's probably why they made it so short. But you know, I wish they just kind of would have fleshed out the story more instead of just, you know, hitting the basic bullet points. But despite that, again, it's a fun time. I do enjoy it for what it is. It's got a lot of good things about it, and you know, I was invested in the story for sure.
Gotta say, insane run doing this and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in the same year.
In the same year.
And then following it up with Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, good point.
That 2 years, you know, that was 2 years later, but still, I'm sure that was like next. Really?
Yeah, which I would like to see.
You're in for a good time. That movie's got a cast.
Yeah, so
my
I've
musical
heard.
pick. That might be my musical pick. I love that movie.
That would be fun.
It's funny because this one is kind of both. It's
Yeah.
like a Nightmare on Elm Street in the sense that it's musical and it's a stop motion animation.
Yeah, but
Chopping them down this season.
yeah, but yeah, I'm glad that you picked this, Matt, because it was a fun time. It also made it easier for me to kind of cram at the last minute because this one's so short. But yeah, what can you say other than, you know, Tim Burton, man knows how to get it done. You know,
Yep.
he hits. He hit. And I'm glad because the last Tim Burton movie we had on this podcast was not my favorite. So I'm glad we got a better one on this time to redeem that. With many of the same actors coming back. So
I think, if I'm thinking, I don't know for sure, but I'm thinking summertime, like the beginning of summer, I'm going to pick Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, okay.
Again, this is, I know, blasphemous for me to say. I've never seen it.
Oh, I've never seen it.
That's what's going to be fun. I've seen it once on
All I know
TV
is
as a kid.
Tell 'em Large Marge sent you.
So that movie, we'll get to it, I guess, but it's, I don't know if it was the sequel or not, too, because I forgot. I think there's a sequel, but
Benicio's in the
There's two
sequel
sequels.
as Dog Boy.
so I wonder if it's the sequel or if that's the one I've seen. But he's like, you can't eat 30 minutes before going, like going into or swimming or something like that. And I never knew that until I saw the movie, and I was like, is that true? And they were like, yeah, kind of. Not really, but kind of.
But yeah,
Jaws just scared him. That's all it was.
But, my friends, now that we have practiced our vows in the presence of the corpse bride, and we have fetched our muskets, we have done all those things, and everything has gone according to plan, now we're going to take a journey. A journey into the past, but also into the near future. That isn't so near anymore. Well, it is actually, because it's here. But, because I don't know what year the movie's
it's
actually
28.
in, but I'm pretty sure it's around this time.
Yep.
I think it's 28.
And while it doesn't exactly look like our current state, everything else about this is painfully, we're going to talk.
Yeah, we will talk about that in a second. But
2025.
Oh, yeah, it's this year.
Literally
Or
we're
last,
there.
we're a
Okay.
year after her set. That's
okay,
crazy.
that is incredible.
You're in the life of her.
That is incredible. But
And
yes,
it's funny because this is the second movie to have somebody that is named after somebody that caused us pain. Because in Maria and Return to Silent Hill, and this one, it's Samantha.
Oh,
Yep.
very true. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, what else can you expect from the Valentine's Day episode full of love?
Exactly.
But yes, now we come to the Spike Jonze directed 2013 sci-fi romance Her. And if you can, ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do is, of course, picture this.
Wait.
It's the near future, and you are a man named...
I gotta hike up my pants.
There you go.
The extremely high-waisted.
You are a man named Theodore, and you're a bit of a lonely fella. You've been through a rough time. You've been through a divorce, even though the person you divorce is the person you're going to marry in real life soon afterwards, but that's a different story. But you've been through a divorce, and, you're going through a tough time. You're talking to girls on fucking sex chat rooms talking about strangling you with a dead kitten. It's all kinds of weird. You're in a weird place in your life. So what do? You buy an operating system, an OS, that is designed to be a human companion. And that OS, after you plug it in, it takes on the name Samantha. And it sounds suspiciously like Scarlett Johansson, even though it was originally supposed to sound like Samantha Morton. But again, that is neither here nor there. And so you
Not gonna lie, I completely agree with what Spike Jonze did there. No offense to Samantha Morton.
1,000,000,000% agree with what he did. And I will elaborate on that more in a minute. But yeah, so this thing becomes a companion to you. And, you form a pretty interesting relationship with it. You're talking to it, and, you kind of don't even think about the fact that she's a computer. You think about her like she's a real person, because in her own way, she is. And, and, you're just I don't even, I don't have a pocket. But
Yeah. Shit, I don't either, actually.
No, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, so you form a special bond with her, and you realize, hey, maybe in her own way, she's not just a machine.
Special
She is a
bond.
person who can feel things, and you, well, I'll just say what it is. You fall in love with her. You fall in love with your operating system, and you embark on what is, in many ways, the most deep and meaningful and personal and moving relationship of your life with this computer. And all kinds of things happen. There's a lot more to say, but that's the basic gist. And it goes places, bro. It fucking goes places. And I'll just say, before I turn it over to you, that seeing this movie was the fulfillment of an 11-year-old promise that I made to Mr. Samuel Holler. You see, back around the time this film came out, back in those days, right? I was a little stupid when it came to, like, I didn't really see current movies like I do now. It wasn't until a year later when I started doing that. So there were a lot of times where trailers for great movies came out, and I just hated them because I was like, that's stupid. I saw the trailer for this, and I'm like, a guy falls in love with a fucking computer? What the fuck? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. And Sam was like, oh, no, like this, it's an amazing, amazing movie. You have to see it. And I'm just like, my ass. And he said, I was like, my ass, I don't believe it. And Sam was
He
like,
also
"No,
said the
seriously."
same thing about Return to Silent Hill, so.
I was right that time. But yeah, like you said, Sam, there's a through line. But
We'll get to it at the end. I have all the secrets.
Oh boy, you're gonna be like fucking Charlie Day with the board.
Indeed.
Yep.
But yeah. So and you were like, no, seriously. Like Matt saw it and he cried when he watched it, and I was just like, what? And you're like, yeah, he said it was like amazing, and I'm just like. That got my attention. I was like, well, okay. I mean, I guess I can watch it. And Sam lent me his DVD copy of the movie, and he said, watch it. And I was like, okay, I'll watch it like this weekend. That DVD sat on my fucking nightstand for I cannot tell you how many goddamn months. A very, very
Staring at Joaquin Phoenix, staring back at you.
Literally judging me for not watching the movie. And I just did not watch it, and it just sat there, and Sam would keep asking me, have you seen her? Have you seen it yet? You've got to see it. And I would be like, I promise I'm going to get to it. I just got to get to it. I never got to it. And then finally, after months and months, I just gave him the fucking DVD back because I just never saw it. And then years and years went by, and, you know, it was one of those movies I always wanted to see. I always wanted to, you know, cross it off the list. I always wanted to get to it. But by God, I just never did. And, you know, it was the only Spike Jonze movie that I had never seen. Like, all his other ones I got out of the way around that same time, you know, or a few years afterwards. Like, Being John Malkovich, I saw that for the first time with you guys. That was my first movie of his. Amazing movie. A couple of years after that, I saw Adaptation. Amazing movie. Where the Wild Things Are was a childhood classic. I saw that quite a bit as a kid.
So much.
And then I saw it again, again during COVID, around the same time as Corpse Bride, as an adult for the first time, and that was an interesting experience. But I still just never got to this one, and so this was the fulfillment of a long promise. Sam, I have finally seen her at long last, and you know I'll get into it more. I'll let you guys take it away first, but I will just say this. This movie destroyed me. Just like everything I've ever heard about how much of an emotional punch this movie packs was not exaggerated. It was not overstated. It was real. And I think, honestly, this might be my favorite thing that we've ever had on the show. Like,
oh, wow.
I almost can't even put into words how much this movie resonated with me, how much it affected me, how much I loved it, how just beautiful and brilliant and amazing and unique and wonderful it was. I mean, yeah. And it's funny because I had another movie that I really, really wanted to pick for this episode. This was like my backup choice in case we couldn't do that one. And the only reason I picked this one instead is because I could tell you guys were excited to watch it. And I was like, fuck it. I'll pick that one instead. Why not? Even though it's my backup choice. I'm glad I went with it, man, because Christ almighty, did it pay off.
Fuck yeah.
But I'll turn it over to you two first. What were your thoughts? I know you've both seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when the trailer for this came out, like, I was visiting my aunt in Washington, D.C., and I watched it on my phone, and then I watched it like 5 fucking times in a row because I was like, this looks awesome. I cannot wait to see this. Um, and this is like right after I think I'd seen The Master. So I was really into Joaquin. I was like, yo, I want to see another one of his performances. I fuck with him a lot. I really haven't seen Gladiator. Like, I'd seen it, but I didn't really think about him when I saw that movie. Spike Jonze, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Fucking Scarlett Johansson with the voice. I was like, yes. Just all of that screamed yes. And then finally got to see it in the theaters. Like Sam said, I fucking cried at like, I can't remember how old I was at the time. Probably like 12 to 13, maybe 14.
This came out
15.
Yeah, it was like
2013
2012,
is when
right?
it came out.
Huh? 2013?
2013 is when it came out, so.
So 10. I can't even do the math. I was like,
Say 15.
You would have been
yeah,
around 15.
maybe 15. But still, I remember like just fucking loving this movie so much. It's still like I wasn't worried about seeing it again. I was just like, man, I haven't seen this in a long time, and then just putting it back on, boom. And the fact that we discovered that it came, it's set in 2025, because while it doesn't quite look, he did his own futuristic thing, which all seemed very well like shot. Like I felt like I believed the world he made. But like I feel like that's kind of where we're at in society a little bit with having people write your own fucking cards. Like, oh, I've been doing it for you. I'm sure there is a thing out there where you can do that, but I was like, yeah. And then having AI, literally, people have AI relationships. People got married to AI, so it's
AI
not
helping you
as
choose what slice
far
of
off the
pizza to
beaten
get.
path, huh?
AI helping you choose what slice of pizza to get.
Yep. I mean, it's like literally not that far off either, which is crazy.
Really got into
Because
the
I think
gearless
in
headphones.
2013, people probably thought it was a little bit like, I don't know if we're going to be there in 2025. Nope, we are pretty much. um, and yeah, just gonna throw this out there before I turn it over to Sam. 2 great cameos. Chris Pratt. Well, it's not a cameo because they weren't big. He wasn't big at the time, but Chris Pratt, fucking killing it. And then pre Guardians of the Galaxy, and then Olivia Wilde, man, just fucking kills it. You can see it in her eye. She's crazy as hell. Grippy socks, grippy box. That's what I'm talking about.
Much like in real life.
Yep. um, but yeah, right. And then of course Spike Jonze himself as the little fucking video game guy when he's cursing at him, and he's like, "She's fat."
I don't know if you hear this one. Kristen Wiig as the dead cat lady on the phone.
I've heard about. Yes, I remember hearing that.
And
I do not. I never noticed it's her until like I look it up after it. I'm like, oh yeah.
The second caller that he calls with the kind of masculine sounding voice, that was Bill Hader.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which I must.
Second time he's been on the cast as a voice.
The second time as like a random fucking blink and you miss it cameo in a Joaquin Phoenix movie after Beau is Afraid.
I didn't think it was. Yeah, I didn't think about it also being a Joaquin Phoenix movie. That's so funny.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's fucking. What are the chances of that? But yeah, fucking.
Fuck
dude.
both of y'all. Jackson, fuck you for making. I love this movie to the ends of the earth and beyond. But the type of feeling that this movie leaves me with at the end is so vast and upsetting and heartwarming and pure. And fuck both of you for forgetting to mention the Queen, Amy Adams, and her fucking schmuck ass boyfriend.
I was talking about cameos, but okay.
True, but still not mentioned yet.
Her schmuck ass boyfriend was also the schmuck ass motherfucker from Mask of Zorro.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
I didn't realize.
And so, but she's a beautiful piece of this movie, and everything about this movie. It's literally just holding you, and you just don't realize it until way later in the movie where you are like lifted up so high and then just dropped. And the last one, I think it's the last shot or one of the last shots with the close up shot of the like lint fuzz void, just it fucks me up. It's too much.
Well, it's one of those things where I can see why Spike Jonze doesn't make movies like very often. It's not like other directors where it's like boom, 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 because he like takes time to like freaking think about what he's doing and like literally like create an entire fucking philosophy almost. Because it's not just like a storyline every time he makes a movie. It's like literally there's like some philosophy that's going on. Being John Malkovich's adaptation. Haven't seen Where the Wild Things Are in a long time, so possibly in that movie, even though that's based on a book. But this one especially
very depressing. Way
Yeah.
more than I realized as a kid as reading the book over and over again.
I mean, I don't know. I just think the he's on to something, man. Every fucking time. And it's funny because there's two trailers that I, as a kid, like, or there's a couple actually that I remember, but this one I watched a lot, and then Wolf of Wall Street I watched a lot, and he's in that one too for a second. And I'm like, Scorsese saw this and was like, big brain.
Yep.
But then the fact that he comes from like Jackass too is kind of nuts. That's the big like, and those movies are fucking great too.
It makes so much sense to me though that he's one of the creators of Jackass. I don't know, it just feels very Spike Jonze to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his hands in a lot of different pies.
Honestly, we might need to pick a Jackass movie for the podcast because those are just fun to watch. I feel like even if you've seen them 1,000 times, if you haven't seen them in like a
any
year,
of the Jackass movies.
Really,
Yeah.
they're actually fun. They're one of those things.
I
Where
was
you're like,
way too squeamish to watch Jackass. I was always just like, I can't do that.
even the new one's really good. Like I was like very surprised.
I would say
watched
is
that
probably
twice.
the most accessible to you if you're squeamish. The first one is probably the worst one to watch if you're squeamish.
Yeah.
The third one though has one scene that is foul.
I think the third one's the best. Low key is my favorite.
My favorite.
They're doing another one apparently. So
As they should.
but
Bam.
yeah, I gotta say this. Man, this movie destroyed me on a fucking cellular level. I just cannot.
You cannot. Are you? I thought you were frozen too. I was like, is it me?
We all just freeze.
I cannot believe just how good this is. It's a fucking masterpiece. It's just like, I remember when I finished it, I legitimately like almost didn't even know how to process how it made me feel and just how much I loved it and just like, and it was funny because okay, the screenplay is one of the best ever written in my opinion. It won the Oscar for best screenplay. I can see why, because holy shit. And the acting is the fact that Joaquin Phoenix was not even nominated for this movie is insane.
I think they're still mad at him a little bit.
In my opinion, he should have won. Like, he should have beat McConaughey. He should have beat everybody else who was up for it that year. And he wasn't even nominated. And I just got to say, I've seen Joaquin Phoenix in many, many movies. I've seen him play many different characters. This, like, opened a new fucking dimension to him for me. I've never seen him do anything like this. It allowed me to see him in a way that I've never seen him before. And it just, like, blew my mind as I was watching it. I was like, I didn't think there were, like, any new sides that I could see to this man as an actor. Like, and here I am looking at him in, like, a whole other dimension now. That character, he makes him so goddamn real and so fucking relatable and so fucking just sympathetic and human and just, he is so brilliant. Amy Adams, like you said, Sam, is also one of the, like, fucking touchstones of the movie. Just, she's so good in it. You feel for her character so much. And then even the smaller people like Chris Pratt is very good, and Rooney Mara, very good in her part. Scarlett goddamn Johansson. I mean, if you were ever going to nominate a voice performance for an Oscar, like, this would be, like, literally just as a disembodied voice the whole movie. The fucking emotion in her goddamn voice in this. This is seriously, this is one of the best performances she's ever given. Maybe my personal favorite, and she's not even like on screen in the goddamn movie. There are so many scenes where just every fucking emotion she felt, I just felt it in my heart. You know what I mean? Whether it was excitement, curiosity, fear, there was so many, like the part in the middle when he's not talking to her anymore, and she's like getting all freaked out and worried that he's gonna. I can't. Just her fucking performance just resonated with me so much. Those feelings, you could feel what she was fucking feeling, and I'm very glad. Samantha Morton is a lovely actress. I'm very glad they replaced her because I can't imagine anybody else playing that fucking character besides Scarlett Johansson.
It's the type of performance that makes you think she really can play a tree and win an Oscar for it.
Yep. But she and yeah, the connection between
Is that a Marriage Story joke, Sam?
No, she said she could play a tree and be lauded as an actor.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson's words.
I don't know if she said. I don't know why I thought that was like a joke from a Marriage Story somehow.
I was like, is that a Guardians of the Galaxy joke? I was like, I didn't quite understand.
No, but Avengers is not the first time that she's talking to a very handsome man through an earpiece on an elevator that's shot exactly like that and windows like that. So
very true.
You know, Joaquin Phoenix as Bruce Banner would have been an interesting choice.
Joaquin Phoenix was actually supposed to play Doctor Strange.
Yep, I heard about that. That one. I don't know. I feel like I can see him more as Bruce Banner than I can as Doctor Strange, just because like
again, just like her and Samantha Morton. That's one I'm kind of glad didn't happen because Cumberbatch is just like perfect to me.
Scarlett Johansson quote: "I should be able to play any person, tree or animal."
Well, that wasn't lauded as an actor. I think she was just saying that
yeah, that's
she doesn't want to be if she wants to play a Mexican, she can play a Mexican, is what I'm hearing.
I know exactly what she was talking about.
Release the All-Star Weekend. Jamie Foxx is directing with Robert Downey Jr. and Jeremy Piven. I need that movie. I know it's being shelved because it's too controversial. I will fight for that movie.
Release it. Do it. Do it. But yeah, fucking. What can you? Every fucking aspect of it, like the production design, the cinematography. Shout out to Hoyt van Hoytema, god tier fucking cinematographer. I remember when in the credits his name came up, I was like, of fucking course that's who shot this. That's why it looks so goddamn good. And just the use of colors and just everything. And oh my god, okay, Matt, you touched on it already. It is insane how close they were to depicting this time period. I'm like, pretty much they got it almost exactly right. Because I remember at the time...
I, too, look at photos of pregnant celebrities on the
there you go.
transportation home.
But, yeah, fucking... it's nuts because I remember at the time, again, when I first heard about it, I'm like, just the idea of a dude falling in love with a fucking AI, a computer, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, there are people doing that now. That is not an out there concept anymore. It makes so much more sense than it did at the time. And just the way they're all just, talking in their earpieces and the way that they're writing the letters. Like, yes, there are people writing them, but it's so close to just like the way they're like, I want to write a letter. Here, let me like tap a button and let this person write it for me. It's like this close to being like, let me tap a button and let this program write it for me.
You can do it in Chat GPT. You could literally say, here's who I want to write a letter to. Literally probably link their fucking Facebook profile to them. Say this is how I know them, and then it will write you a letter.
Literally. I'm like,
so,
it's amazing how
also the earpieces, I just thought about that too. They're kind of like AirPods.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned there literally are AirPods now that are like that. So it's like,
yes. I mean,
yeah.
it's crazy how close they got. And I'll bet you in the future, that video game thing he's playing is probably going to be real too,
I mean, it's kind of like the VR video game.
Yeah, kind of. It is pretty close to that.
Hey, fuck you.
that
What?
was stunning to me. Like how close they
That's what
got
it
to
said.
that. What'd you
Oh
say?
yeah, the cave. Fuck you,
I said,
fucker.
"Fuck you."
It took me a second to like get what you were doing, and I was like, oh yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, come on.
Come on. You fucking pussy. Follow me, you fucking pussy.
Who's this? She's fat.
Yeah.
I just love that fucking line.
And Olivia Wilde annoying the shit out of me in this movie as she does in real life always. But yeah, but that scene, oh my god, that scene hit so hard. Where she's just like, that's every guy's like nightmare scenario, like for a date, is just like she's acting like she likes you and all this, and then you say one fucking thing and she's like, you're a really creepy dude, and just walks away. It's just, oh, I felt that in my fucking soul. That shit was just like, and it's just nuts. I can't get over how good the writing is. I'm like, and it's cool too, because like Spike Jonze, this is the only movie he's ever made where he wrote it, like first two movies being John Malkovich an adaptation, Charlie Kaufman wrote the script. Where the Wild Things Are, it's based on a book. You know, this is the only movie he's made where he wrote it, it's a completely original idea, it's just his voice, his vision, what he has to say, and it's like, dude, you could do this all this time and you were letting other people write your shit, like holy fuck. And I can see why he hasn't done anything since this. It's been a long, long time, and he hasn't done another one, and I can kind of see why. I'm just like, bro kind of said everything that he needed to say with this, you know? Like, everything that was in he clearly tore into, like, the deepest part of himself. Tore this out, put it on the page, and was like, I'm good for now. I don't need to do anything
The
else.
destruction
I
of
kinda
all
said
of
it
his
all.
relationships, just completely, you are just destroyed in every aspect, and you feel like, especially the Rooney Mara, like fighting and watching their relationship crumble, juxtaposing with
Well,
the waning of his relationship with Scarlett Johansson.
I don't think I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure I'm remembering this correctly. That this is his response to Lost in Translation because it's got
Matt,
so.
I was about to. So, okay, here's the thing. So, back in the day, you told me, and I thought about this when I watched Lost in Translation, and I thought about it when I was watching this. You told me back in the day that both movies are basically their respective versions of the breakup, right? Because for those in the audience who don't know, Spike Jonze and Sophia,
That's I think why he recast Scarlett Johansson
Scarlett Johansson
too.
is in both. She's
Yeah.
in both movies, and I'm just like, okay, that is not a coincidence. I feel like.
Well, also if you look at Giovanni Ribisi's character in Lost in Translation, dude looks remarkably like Spike Jonze.
Well, no, because here's the thing. Here's what I thought was funny. Because in both movies, I watched it with that mentality because you had told me that forever ago. And in both cases, I could see it. I think his version of her was a lot more subtle because in Lost in Translation, because like you watch this and Rooney Mara's character is like, okay, yeah, I can definitely see that this is based on Sofia Coppola, or it could be, you know, or parts of her are anyway. And then you watch Lost in Translation, and from the second he first shows up, Giovanni Ribisi it's so obviously Spike Jonze. I remember watching it being like, oh my god, she's not even trying to be subtle with this. Like, it's just him, you know? But, you know, so that was kind of funny, just watching how they both did that. And in both cases, it's interesting to see, because, like, I could definitely tell in both cases, I'm like, yeah, they clearly took shit from their relationship and put them in their respective movies. And it's so interesting seeing both of their kind of sides of, like, you know, their relationship and their breakup and everything. And also, funny enough, for both movies, they both won the Oscar for Best Screenplay. So that's also kind of a weird fucking connection there. But yeah, I mean, again, I could go on and on and on, but
especially the
just
colors,
like,
I think is something that really make this so unique and kind of sets the atmosphere and kind of all that kind of the way I like the shade of red that is used a lot. It's almost super soft and lighter in some aspects.
totally agree. I think
Yeah.
like the visual, like the colors and the just the aesthetic of it helped a lot.
And Spike knew to cover Joaquin's cleft palate. That's how you appease all audience.
That could have been it. That could have been part of the, But I will say this, this was in my top 10 for a long time back in the day. It was like number 8 for a hot minute. Now it's not on the list, not the top 10 list. But still, every time I see it, thank you, Jackson, for actually picking it, because this was a really fun rewatch. Heartbreaking, but not in the same sense that it used to be. It's a little different now. It's different.
Well, and it's funny because that's the point, because it's funny because my mom hates La La Land, right? Because of the ending. She hated the ending because she was like, every time she talks about it, she's like, that was the worst ending I've ever seen to a movie. It was so sad. She's like, it just destroys you by the end. And it's like, I remember my brother when he saw that movie too, that was one of the funniest car rides ever, where we just drove in silence for 20 minutes. And then I finally was like, so did you like the movie? He was like, fuck that movie. It was so goddamn sad. Fuck that, And I just, I never felt that for that movie necessarily. I mean, I felt sad, but it was I get it. That's how it needs to end. And then I finished this one, and I was like, I understand how they feel now, because I was so destroyed by the fact that she left. I was so, more than anything in the world, while I was watching this movie, I wanted them to be together, and I did not want them to split apart, and I wanted that to happen for them. And it didn't happen. And when the fucking movie ends, where it ends, I was just destroyed. And I've kind of, for a minute, I had that feeling of just fuck this, how could you end it this way, how could you do this to me, kind of thing. And I had to just kind of sit there for a minute and just tell myself, this is how it needs to end, because the point of the movie is they both grew, the relationship helped them both grow, regardless of how it ended. Because she, obviously, as we saw, is growing and expanding and becoming more advanced. And then he grew as a person. He's finally able to write his own letter at the end of the movie, and he's finally able to make peace with his ex-wife. And it's not necessarily about, because that's life. That's how relationships are, It's not always about whether that person stays in your life. It's about what you learned from them and how they helped you grow as a person and all that kind of stuff. So, it is very sad, but it's also kind of you leave with that sort of thing, And he and Amy Adams just sharing that moment together at the end, yeah, it sucks, but at least we've got a connection ourselves, to each other. We can just be here for each other and shit. And, I was like, that's how it had to go. That's how it had to end, and it's brilliant as a result of that. So, yeah, can't say enough about this one. Legit, I did not think when I started this that it would end up being, again, not definitively, but probably if probably my favorite thing we've ever had on the show. Just personally, movies like Redbeard and Stalker and others are objectively better, but if you ask me what my personal favorite is, the one that resonated with me the most, I'm gonna say this one, and I wasn't expecting that necessarily when I started it. So glad I could finally see it, glad I could get it on here. It's a movie, it really is very fitting for our Valentine's Day special.
Yep. And now Sam gets to.
Well, I just need
Charlie
to
Day.
say, yeah, this movie really changed my life in a lot of ways. But I have two questions or two statements. One's a question. Jackson, have you seen Come On, Come On?
No, unfortunately.
Okay, that's another really wild kind of Joaquin Phoenix role that.
In this vein, but not he's not the same.
Not the same in any way.
I love that director. I love Mike Mills. So I really do want to see that.
But also, speaking of movies where the ending completely changes your entire opinion of your watch, we definitely need to get Babylon on this show.
I'm gonna pick it before the season ends.
You guys aren't gonna like the way I talk about it. I don't hate the movie as a whole.
Well,
I
remember
hate the
you
ending.
telling me. I remember you telling me you hate the fucking ending of it.
Yeah, no, the ending ruins my entire life. I hate it.
It takes everything it was talking about and then just cuts it at the knees, in my opinion, in about 2 fucking seconds.
But yeah, it's not a ending that is emotionally destructive. It's a ending that viscerally angers you.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that one on here before the season ends, no question.
Yeah.
But what's your Charlie Day thread conspiracy?
Yes, so I want to thank you, Jackson, for not watching Return to Silent Hill last week and things working out the way they have, because the 3 movies that we have on this podcast this week all share immense themes and concepts where our main character is in a state of loneliness, seeking comfort through women who are not of the real earth, dealing with grief, dealing with the stuff that they are struggling through from their past situations, and specifically, I feel like I was telling Matt, Return to Silent Hill ends with her turning into a bunch of moths. Corpse Bride ends with her turning into a bunch of moths. And I'm trying to find the connection in her. I know it's there, but I'm just thinking about buttholes and armpits right now, so maybe that's not where my mind should be. But I'm sure there's a butterfly or some sort of symbolism.
She kind of, the last time we hear her voice, it's like she turns into a flurry of snow, kind of.
Yeah, and so.
And what you were talking about saying, I don't know if you're going to bring this up in a second, but you also mentioned that each one was about somebody trying to be with a person they can't quite be with for various reasons.
Mm-hmm. Completely. And so I think they were the perfect 3 movies to be paired together in the perfect transitional order of the lowest depths of hell, the middle ground where you're half alive, half dead, and then the point where you are accepting and moving beyond. It's all the stages of grief.
And also, I just have to say this. Shouts out to Brian Cox and her as the voice that she's talking to.
Hey, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
His voice is just as clear and recognizable as a fucking bell to me. As soon as he came on, I was like, oh, shit. It's cool because he worked with Spike Jonze in Adaptation.
Yep.
But the 5th Brian Cox appearance on this podcast, he is a big time Hall of Famer. Or I think the 4th, either the 4th or the 5th, I can't remember. He's been on a lot. So
I'm just glad that it's not like his big movies. It's like Trick or Treat and then this. Where it's like he's just there, but it's not like he's the crux of the whole movie type shit.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that is our Valentine's Day special. I think I improved from last year, because last year I didn't like any of the picks that were on.
Well, you also picked Valentine's Day.
Again, Valentine's Day I did fuck with, but yeah.
Well, at least you like.
Well, I kind of my backup for this one was going to be Never Been Kissed, and Gary Marshall's in that movie.
Oh shit, I've never seen that.
And I saw part of it on FX at the gym when I was doing the massage chair. It was playing on the TV, and I was like, "Yo, I didn't know all these people were in this movie." And then I was watching the credits, and then I saw Gary Marshall's name pop up, and I was like, "Oh, this would be a good one to pick, just to bring him back for the Valentine's Day."
We gotta find a way to get him back in some way.
And eventually we'll get America's Sweethearts on here, because I want to watch it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I do want to see that. If we do that, John Cusack, he's going to be tied.
What about Christopher Walken's going to come back too, and Stanley Tucci?
Good point.
I think Christopher Walken's been on it quite
Billy
a while.
Crystal will also return as well as Zeta Jones. So.
Oh, okay.
We've been knocking down a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts has been on a couple times too, or at least once.
Well, and I realized that movie is so funny because Billy Crystal co-wrote it, and I didn't realize he co-wrote the movie until I saw the credits, and I was like, "Oh, this makes sense on why it's so fucking funny."
Yeah. But yes, I think we've improved from last year. I felt some love, not just hate like last time, though there was much hate for Return to Silent Hill. But so we hope, sorry to everybody out there in the audience that our schedule has been so fucked up recently. We've had some technical issues, but we are committed to giving all of you the very best that we can. So, hopefully that's what we're giving you. And we'll see you all next week. in the next edition of 3 for 3. Let us know
I'm 3 for 3.
if you are 3 for 3. Are we all 3 for 3?
I'm 2.5 for 3. No offense to Silent Hill. I'm giving it a half because, you know.
Now Jackson's not going to be the one that hears the siren after this episode. It's going to be you, Matt.
I feel
And the
like,
fog's going to come into Colorado.
Matt,
Again.
Blink if Sam has been forcing you to admit that this movie isn't bad this entire time.
This movie is horrendous, but it is visceral. You
I
cannot
honestly don't
deny
think I
that
would have
you are
liked it as
witnessing.
much if I didn't see it with Sam
I
the
know
way we
for a
saw
fact
it.
you wouldn't have.
So
but
that's why I'm
you
like,
weren't-
but I will say I had a fun time with it. I really
You
did.
weren't fucked up beyond belief, and with Sam. But yes, thank you all. I'm glad I'm definitely 2 for 3 this week. Not but
Yeah.
so there's that. But thank you all for joining us. Be sure to like, vote in the poll, comment, subscribe, do all that good shit. We love you all, and we will see you all next week.